Hey everybody, it's Jack from Atlantis Water Gardens.
Brian from Team Aquascape.
We are back in Heber City, Utah. We were on this project about 2 months ago. If you haven't seen the construction video of how this was built, click on the link right here to check that out.
Or this one down here, if you want to see another version of it. So the reason we're here, we heard that the house is closing next Monday. We had the opportunity, I was traveling in California, you had a couple free days. We said, hey, let's meet out here and see this thing. And of course for us, to not see it completed is just like nails on a chalkboard. So we wanted to come out, we heard the landscape was done, we heard the house was of course finished, and we had to come back and see it because I'll tell you what, it's spectacular.
So this place just sold for $3.8 million. We're gonna show you why.
So here we are, Heber City, Utah. We're at the location where we built the waterfall, what, 2 months ago, Jack? A couple months ago. We wanted to come back here, show you guys how incredible this home is and why it sold for $3.8 million. And I think you're gonna get it when I open the front door. So take the $3.8 million away and tell me why did somebody say, how could I live anywhere else the second they opened the front door? Because it's truly amazing. So just look at this house. I mean, the house is amazing, but the first thing you see, you don't pay attention to any of the crazy detail from the banister to the glass staircase over here. You're just focused on that waterfall. It pulls you through the house like any water feature we've ever built, but probably like any water feature on steroids, right? Like, it's just so insane. You come out here, you open these giant doors, and it's like, oh my God, like every place in this house I could take a nap. I'm sitting on this deck next to a custom concrete fire table. I could see myself laying back on a couch, maybe put in a hammock chair or something out here. But I'm just looking at it saying, I live on a mountainside with a natural spring-fed waterfall that comes towards my house. It's just so insane. So not only is it visible from here, but imagine now being the buyer of this house, the new owner, which by the way closes in 3 days. So this is a very rare opportunity that we got to come in here. But every place in the house has a view that looks out towards that water feature. Jack, I think you should show them how cool the kitchen is.
So you would definitely expect a $3.8 million house to have a beautiful kitchen, and this one does. I love all the exposed stonework that's carried inside the house, same stuff that's on the outside of the house, all these timbers that are lining the ceiling, and then you've got this huge counter, which, I mean, it's not short on detail. They put wheels on the bottom of the counter. Now, they're not meant to roll around, it's just for the effect. The way this house was detailed out, they didn't miss a single point. Right down to the refrigerators, built in looking like a cabinet. I mean, how beautiful is that?
It's so awesome.
But when Joel was laying out this house, I have to imagine he just looked at all the windows that are in this place. There must be 50 windows in the back of the house, all looking out to the backyard. And when you guys talked about bringing a water feature in, that had to be the aha moment, like, that's what this place needs. This is gonna put it over the top. And you look out the windows, just standing here, and you're just in awe. You're in awe everywhere. Every single room that faces the back of this house catches a glimpse of that waterfall. And let me show you what the bedrooms look like.
Oh, hi. I would have put something a little bit more comfortable on. But really, how could you not just like love this? I mean, I don't think I've ever built a water feature, ever, that so many sightlines of the house took advantage of what we built in the backyard. I mean, every window, this whole window frames out that entire thing. I can imagine going to bed, sitting here, as that thing lights up at night. I can see you waking up in the morning as the fog is rolling through. The waterfall's kind of steaming like they were this morning. It's such an awesome, awesome home, and the water feature, I think, just makes it. So I'm not really a bath guy, but that would make me a bath guy. I could see every night coming home from work, fighting for my wife to who's gonna take advantage of the bathtub view, looking out at the waterfall again. And then again, like in this amazing bathroom. It's so big, it's so spacious, huge walk-in shower, giant walk-in closet behind you. Just, oh.
So this is enough to make you say, okay, yeah, I'm sold, I want to live here. But let's go upstairs and see what the view is from the bedroom. So we're going to show you why looking from inside the house is such a key element when you are laying out, especially a big grand scale water feature like this. You want to make sure you're hitting all those vantage points.
So if you look at it, you're going to see this is the roof line over the covered deck that's out there. And if we're standing right here, you don't see the pool that's halfway up. All you see is the upper side waterfalls. Looks completely different than the way the waterfalls look from downstairs. Now if we go over to the other bedroom, you're gonna notice the difference on the view because the window here is a little higher. Over here, the windows are a little lower.
Well, because this actually steps up into this bedroom.
The windows technically are at the same height, but because you came up 3 steps, you come into this room, and now look at how much different that looks. This is probably my favorite room. I almost like this room better than the master bedroom because the way these windows frame out the upper part of the falls. We don't see the lower falls at all from here. We just see the upper falls, and the roof is down lower, the windows feel taller. It's just an awesome space. And this time of year out here, it's like perfect. It's in the upper 60s. All the windows could stay open all night. You'd get that cool air coming in, fresh air throughout the day, the sounds of the waterfall. It's just such an amazing house.
We've seen a lot of the areas in this house so far. I feel like the area with the most potential is yet to be seen, and that's down in the basement. So normally a basement, if you think about it, is an afterthought. It's like, okay, we've got this space down here, let's finish it, we'll make some entertaining spots, but this is, I feel like, a main attraction. So you'll see when you round the corner here, and if you look behind me, those windows are like a movie screen. The feeling when you walk in the front door of this house is magical. But I feel like the opportunity here would be 10 times that, because you're sitting here and you're just taking it all in from such an unexpected place. Like walking down those stairs, you're like, okay, yeah, it's a basement. If you walk down here to just huge waterfalls coming towards you, you would be just absolutely beside yourself. And I feel like it would blow everybody away.
So of course a house this size, this scale, you know, it's 6,000 plus square feet, is gonna have all kinds of other little bells and whistles. This is a movie room like I've never seen before, right? I love this. You don't see too many movie rooms with little bar tops at the top, and then down below, instead of the typical movie chairs, the comfy couches. Like, I would actually use a movie room like this. I'd even invite you to come watch, I don't know, Titanic. Of course, there's bathrooms around every corner. You have a whole nother full kitchen down here with a refrigerator and the sink and the bars. Another living space with a custom fireplace. You can see they're getting ready to put the TV up there. And then there's 2 more crazy bedrooms off of either side. I'm guessing by the time we meet the homeowners of this house, Jack, this will be your bedroom and this will be my bedroom. or we can only hope, right? But just a really comfy bedroom, giant windows, Of course, we'd love to see a waterfall, but can't. Walk-in shower, another walk-in closet, huge personal bathroom. It's just great. And the same thing mirrors on the other side over there.
So we've showed you pretty much the entire house, and hopefully you can get a feel for why somebody would spend this type of money to live in a location like this. Of course, the surround, like living here in Utah, is a big part of it, because you're surrounded by this just gorgeous natural landscape, mountains everywhere. But when you've got to convince yourself that you're going to spend this kind of money, and when you walk in the door, you have to be blown away. And I think that's what was accomplished here by building this epic water feature out back. Let's go walk through that.
All right, so let's recap the infrastructure a little bit. We have a 3,000 gallon system here. That's about 100 aqua blocks. We have 4 pumps. We have 3 5 to 9s. Those are our remote control pumps, the solid handling ones, and 1 12 PN. The 12 PN dumps up into this middle pool here, which is actually something we need to tell Lon about. So if you wanted to just run some of this over the winter, I would run from that section down, maybe not all of the other stuff up there. We have well over 160 tons of stone throughout the whole thing. We're pushing over 20,000 gallons per hour over the entire waterfall, and we built the whole thing in 7 days. I got to meet Lon, the new owner of this house, and such a rare opportunity because we never thought this was going to happen. Lon, you told me some incredible things. One thing you said was how quick it took you to make the decision to buy the house.
Well, first off, I looked online and I knew I was not going to buy this house because the pictures didn't even do it justice. And then we were looking at the Prairie homes. We were here from out of town, and we came in, and my wife wanted to go look at the Prairie homes, which we had spent the whole day before looking at 9 properties in Park City. And so we walk in, and as soon as we drove up, I go, well, that's a lot better in real life than it was what I thought.
We agree.
And so I walk in, and my wife, we weren't even in here for 30 seconds, probably 20 seconds. She turned over to me, she goes, honey, I really want this property. I go, you do? And she goes, yeah. And I go, okay, well, you walk through the house and I'll go cut the dill. So I went up to the real estate guys and the builder people, and I actually said, who's the head pigeon around here? Because I could tell they were not it. And I said, they go, what? Why? And I said, because I want to buy the house. They said, are you serious? I go, do I look like I'm kidding? Yeah, I want to buy it. And so while they getting the head pigeons on, I called my real estate guy that took us around Park City. I said, make an offer. The guy's coming over, do you know the real estate agents? But anyway, we looked out at this waterfall right there and saw all the peacefulness, the mountains up there, the colors were changing, no neighbors, total tranquility. So this was a super awesome little chill place for us. And so within 30 minutes, we were under contract. So there you go.
I mean, 30 seconds. So they hadn't even walked through the entire house.
She was walking when I was cutting the dill.
Oh, the dill. And Lon, you've shared some years of wisdom. You've been married 40 years?
40 years.
40 years. And
yeah.
So this is going to go on YouTube. A lot of people are going to want to hear some of the wisdom
I know
you shared with us.
people always go, well, what's the secret in a happy marriage? I go, you know, I'm glad you're asking the question. I said, when we got married, we decided that she was going to make all the minor decisions and I was going to make all of the major decisions. And in 40 years of being married, we just have never made any major decisions.
Write that down, you guys.
And then I have another friend that said, look, here's something else that I learned. He goes, I don't know if I learned this from my first wife or my second wife, but he goes, you can be right or you can be happy. And I chose happiness on the second one.
Lon, it was awesome to meet you. I'm so glad we got to meet, man. Thanks so much.
All right. So one other words of wisdom. If you got them, floss them. If you don't, soak them. And if you got some coin, get some implants.